What is up, guys? In this video, I wanted to give you some PC building advice. Why should you trust my opinion? Well, because as you guys know, I built my own PC setup. It's right here, and it's what I'm recording on right now. Anyways, let's get into it. Number one, the most important that people make mistakes on. Budgeting. You need to make a budget, like for example, let's just say 2,000. And then you make a $2,000 budget, and then you go from there. You pick out all your parts. You don't have to go overkill 4090 i9 Ryzen 9. You could go even mid-range like Ryzen 7. Like me, I went 7700. I wish I had the X or the X3D, but I just went the mid-range $300 one. I went with the 4070 Ti. Like I said, you just make a budget. That's my biggest mistake is I didn't use PC part picker to see how much my total would end up as. And like for this, people are saying for this exact price of my build, I could have built one with the 4080. Use PC part picker and put all your parts that you want to use into that list. Like for example, in PC part picker, you could literally add whatever computer part and you'll see the total. Number two, do not cheap out on your power supply. Your power supply is the most important thing. It's literally where all the power for your computer goes. It's literally where all the power goes. If it's a cheap power supply, that means cheap parts. If it uses cheap parts, that means one, it'll last a lot. It'll break or die a lot sooner. It'll literally just it could even, if the components are actually pretty cheap quality. Like for example, $80 power supply. Yeah, like people say, that's a ticking bomb. It's on a stop. It's on a timer to explode. That thing will blow. Go for 100, 150 or more. Do not cheap out on your power supply. If one single thing goes wrong, your whole system is at danger of being destroyed. $1,000 on what you already purchased, your power supply could kill all of that. Yes, I said don't go over your budget. Make a budget. But that should be part of your budget. Leave 150 plus on your power supply. I spent like 180 for a Corsair, and it has some pretty good reviews. And I'm pretty confident that it will last me forever. Okay, mistake or advice number 3. Do not mix your power supply cables. If you mix the power supply cables, even if the same company, like I said, it's gonna destroy your whole system. I've watched a lot of like 2 videos of a YouTuber who, like Mr. Easter. He even has a YouTube short on it. He basically switched the cables. Like you buy pre-built or just like like a pre-built, and then you buy a new power supply, or you buy a PC from like OfferUp or whatever. And it comes with everything except the power supply. All the cables are there. And you're like, why should I take all this time just to reroute it, recable everything? Why should I recable manage everything? It's already set up. Well, guys, people have done that. And guess what? Entire system. Poof. It's a very silent poof. And it just broke. Do not mix your power supply cables. If you want to go third party like Cable Mod or whatever, contact your power supply people and ask them which cable, or like give Cable Mod your exact model. Like mine is RM1000X. Give the Cable Mod that exact thing, and they'll make you cables. They'll be pricey, but they'll make you cables that will work with your power supply. No issues at all. I have just your aftermarket, like your stock cables. I don't care about that. Hint number 4. Go air cooling. I would not advise you go water cooling, because like those pipes on Reddit, literally like last night, I read on Reddit. There's a guy literally who was water cooling, and he said it leaked. He almost lost his graphics card. And there's people in the comments that are saying the same thing. They had leaks. Leaks, leaks, leaks. What's wrong with water leaks or water cooling leaks? Shorts. Water and electronics do not mix. Oh, and okay, backtrack to hint number 3 or 2. Power supplies even say on the where the ports are, it says do not mix cables. Anyways, water and electronics do not mix. It will be bad. It will be a little firework. It will go bad, which is why I do not trust water cooling. Just go get a decent $40 Thermaltake, not sponsored, cable cooler. It's decent enough. It's good enough. It keeps my temps at idle at 40 with the PBO at -15. But that's like all unnecessary. Hint number 5. Overclocking. I have never done overclocking, but guys, trust me. If you're gaming, overclocking won't do anything. Underclocking, same thing. It'll only reduce the temperatures by 5 degrees Celsius. It will not do anything good for you. There is no point of overclocking unless you're doing some CPU intensive tasks. Hint number 6. A graphics card and a CPU should be the same like strength. Doesn't matter what you're doing. For example, there's a thing called bottlenecks. That's when your processor is either weaker or stronger than your graphics card. It's like you're buying a sports car, but you can't use its full miles per hour that it can go. You can't use its full potential. You're just leaving wasted performance on the table. That's my biggest mistake. 4070 Ti with the Ryzen 7 7700. That is not a good combo. It's like going a 100-mile-per-hour car going 50 on the highway. It's not allowed to go higher than 50. So you're wasting all that performance. And if you're going 20 on the 50, all the cars behind you are going 20. Basically, that's where your graphics card, for example, is being slowed down, and it's going like the strength or the performance of your CPU. Tip number 7. Go with trusted brands with reputable warranty services. Do not go with Gigabyte. Their service is trash. I've read all over online, every Google, YouTube. There's even been a whole big blow-up issue with them. Their graphics cards, they will not fix it if it cracks. Like the 4080 or 4090, 4080 or 4090 series, they would literally, like where the connector goes to the motherboard, it would literally crack under its weight. Guess what? Gigabyte will not warranty that. A Gigabyte will not warranty and fix it for you. They'll say it's user error because it's physical damage. It's not a component that breaks. It's that little tab. Hold on, guys. Luckily, I have an example I could show you guys. That should be there. Okay, so part of this little tab, this tab right here, this guy, it would physically crack because of the cheap quality PCB that they use. So under its weight, it'll just crack. And they're gonna just say it's your fault. It's physical damage that we're not covering it. Do not go Gigabyte. Go like Asus? Maybe go Asus. Want to go MSI? I would recommend MSI. That's my whole computer basically. Motherboard MSI, and so is my graphics card. My whole computer is MSI. Don't make the mistake I made, going with a cheap or a bad case. Bad airflow. Well, it's not really a bad airflow, it's just a bad design. But there are cases I've researched that have horrendous airflow. Like, it just overheats because of the the way the case is designed. I have a case which is like your ordinary fans on the front, top, and just like a sliding door. That's literally my whole design. I spent $180 and I've seen better, cheaper quality, well, better design cases, like those fish tank cases where you could see all around. I really wanted to get those. But yeah, number 8. Do not go research the size of your graphics card and all your parts and buy a case accordingly. Do not get a 4080 or 4090 and go with a mini ITX case. That guy is tiny, but the graphics card is going to be bigger and it won't fit. Number 9. Your monitor could also be a bottleneck. If your monitor is like a 1080p or a 720p, it could slow the graphics card down by your usage. Like me, usually my CPU would be like at like 50% usage, while my GPU is at like 10. Unlike Roblox, which is bad. You want it to either be even or graphics card up higher. Now I just made my resolution. I upscaled to like 4K, and now when I'm like gaming, my GPU is at like 70, while my CPU is at like 20. That's what you want. That's the lower of a bottleneck. That's one way to get out of a bottleneck. Number 10. When you're building a PC, you want positive air pressure. That means when there's like, for example, in my case, there's a lot more air going into the PC rather than getting pushed out. So that way, the dust and the cooling will be optimum. Like the dust would get sucked into the intakes, but it'll be pushed out by all these little cracks. Whereas if you have all exhaust and like 1 or 2 intakes, you'll have all these little holes where your case is. All the little holes. Like right here, like you could see I'm putting my hand into the glass. That's where all the dust would be sucked into. And you guys know, dust equals heat. Heat equals overheating parts. Overheating parts equals unhappy customer. Unhappy customer equals problem. Anyways, positive air pressure also helps cooling down your parts. The more air you have inside the case, the more air the fans could utilize. Like if you're going water cool, the more air that the water cooling fans could utilize to cool down the heatsink, to cool down the CPU. And yeah, guys, that'll be it for this video. Hopefully it wasn't too boring for those who aren't building their own PC. I mean, you could always learn from something. But yeah, guys, this will be 10 pieces of advice I have for new builders. Hopefully this video was useful, guys. Like and subscribe for more. See you guys next time. Bye.